Looks like everyone is ready. I do believe. Yes.
Let the session begin.
You all good there? You good to go, Chris?
Yeah.
Alright, everybody's got their characters leveled up. Anything they need to ask before we start?
Well, I'm gonna level up within the first 5-10 minutes of the session, but other than that, yep.
Alright, well, yeah, I know, so that's fair. Alright.
I'm a rope.
Well, that being said, we shall begin. When last we left our heroes, you made a friend. In fact, our good ranger Malik was even hugging said friend and comforting him.
You hug things?
As
Oh my god, I
they're
remember what we're
distracted,
talking
I'm
about.
gonna
That is
find
not
any
a
kind of
friend.
hiding spot and back up into a corner.
That is
Are you
not a
still
friend.
in dragon form, Slytonius?
No, I'm going normal, of course, to try and hide.
Is he not still?
Oh,
under
wait a
greater
minute.
sleep
I have all
spell?
my items
Is
from
he
before
not
too,
still under
right?
greater sleep spell right now?
What's that?
Is he not still under greater sleep spell right now?
Actually,
I'm asleep?
I do believe you are.
Yeah, because I just flew across the fucking ocean.
No, I put you to sleep.
No, he used the
You were a
spelling
bad
right before
boy.
the end of the session.
Oh,
You
yeah.
forgot being
So
bad?
there, he's hugging younger Hobbit or whatever version of
He-
Archon.
he's hugging the Hobbit version of
Because
Archon
he tried
right
to
now.
throw himself into his forge. And
But I've
I
already
caught him
literally-
mid-flight into
I've
the-
already literally successfully killed him twice, been told it was the wrong thing to do, and then been put to sleep by you after blink rewound time.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Okay. So
Alright.
I'm Nunite right now. Okay, I'll
So
shut
you
No,
would
no.
still be in dragon form, yes?
No.
Yeah.
He was
No,
still
because
in
when
dragon
he
form
reversed time, I went dragon as I busted into the window to take him out. He reversed time, so he probably put me to sleep
Okay.
while I was human.
All right,
Or like part
that's
changed.
fair.
Outside the window with the other guys.
That's fine.
All part changed.
All right then. So, Link, what are you doing?
First, I'll apologize for what I've done. Anyone burdened with the knowledge of what has happened would probably do the same when it has happened so abruptly. But I'll explain to him that there's still time to change some actions in the future. You can still have your family. There's still time to love. There's still time to mourn if that is the action that happens. Like if there's things we can't control, but right now we're trying to stop the destruction of absolutely everything.
All right. Well, you're not entirely sure if the halfling is hearing you, but the only reason for that is because the gargantuan form of Malik is currently embracing him in a rather strong hug, shall we say.
I'll place him back on the floor.
Probably a good idea. And he's still looking at the rest of you rather lost and confused, which is when I assume you iterate that things don't necessarily have to be as bad as they are.
Yeah. I also would like to add that I lost somebody. The only person I truly loved. I lost. And I didn't just choose to attack everybody. I got my revenge and it didn't feel that great. It didn't change me for the better. It made me a little worse. But then I met my friends here. As you can tell, they're pretty kind.
As you mentioned friends, his glance gazes around, and he will, of course, see the rather tall, bald female elven amongst the golden skin standing over the area. She seems to be in a poised readiness stance. She's not doing anything right now, but she's clearly expecting something to happen.
I've clearly explained to her who he is already.
Have you, though?
Yeah, I did.
Before you crashed in and got knocked out?
When I was in that room with her, I explained that this was all a figment of Archon's version of the Hall of Heroes, and I brought her back to life. As far as I'd known, she died before that.
What about you, Abe? What are you doing?
I'm going to try and convince him of his unconscious importance.
That should be interesting.
Scary.
All right, go ahead and make a charisma check. In the meantime, Ash, what are you doing?
Well, I took a bonus to that.
Just being the silent observer? All right.
Said historic.
Just taking it in.
He's got a cape that's flopping.
Let's see how convincing you are, Mr.
18 plus 9.
Well, he seems to be taking your words to heart. However, it's clear that he's still very confused by the fact that a number
Because
of
it's
people
shit he wouldn't even
riding
know
a dragon
exists.
bashed into his forge and are now informing him that he's indirectly the cause of the destruction of the entire universe. That is a bit to drop on someone. You
Yeah.
must understand.
Yeah. It's a lot of shock.
So he'll just be standing and looking a bit confused at all of you. He's backing away from the forge, so you don't have to worry about it.
I'm gonna physically reach my hand out to him, like as to shake his hand. So he, like, without even understanding, realizes that I get what he's getting at and what he's going through.
Okay.
I want to see how he takes that.
Because he is a touch skittish at the moment.
Oh, I imagine so. That's why I'm trying to
That's a
reassure
natural
him.
20. That's a nice way to start the day.
I don't know.
No, it's a good thing. He actually interprets it correctly, and he has to reach up on tippy toes a bit because you're a bit taller than him. But he reaches out with a furry hand,
Yeah.
gives it a shake, and he seems to have calmed down a bit. And looking around at the
Because,
rest
like,
of you,
given what I've said, I'm sure that would make anyone skittish.
looking at the hole where the wall of his forge once was, and then looking
Time is
outwards.
around since then. His forge wall would be fine.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I
To
think
that
it
degree?
was fine,
It was
yeah.
actually
I am
grown-
outside
I think
of the
it, like,
wall.
had grown
He
over,
grown
he
over
said.
to him.
Oh, you're right.
Everything was a little funky.
So then he'd still be looking around because there's a number of you in there. I mean, there's Blink, there's you.
Yeah.
I'm outside.
You're outside, but
Abe
Abe's
and
in there, No's in there, Ash is in there.
Taylor's
So
on the
he's
outside.
surrounded by all these incredibly tall people. Remember, he's a hobbit, folks.
I'm gonna take
he-
the-
He's 3 foot something, and that something is not big.
Let's
So
convince him to join us on the quest to take out himself.
You're knocked out. Shut
Wow.
up with your weird ideas.
The metagame.
How long does it take for you to wake up?
that
All I'm hearing
that-
is-
that does bring something into point, though. However, because he will be looking at the rest of you and saying, "Well, if it's all to be okay, then
It would be a huge conflict of personality, let's put
What?
it this way.
what do I have to do? How do I? You said that things would be different, things that haven't happened yet.
Die.
How do I make them not happen?
Just die.
So I'm going to stop everybody and ask them to just like back up a little bit, maybe give them a bit of room. Because I'm
Alright,
about the
yeah,
same height as
Give him
him,
some
no?
space, yeah.
You will be.
That's fine.
You're
Okay.
Wish
We
he
can
had
go
the
with
like
that.
guys,
I'm
maybe
gonna
you need
Can we
to
go
get
with
more
that?
space.
I'm gonna give him a minute to breathe. I'm gonna step
Wish
back.
he had the
Yeah.
memories. Wish he had his
Alright.
older self's memories.
I'm gonna drag him by his
I
ankles
already
back,
did.
unconsciously,
No, you
whether he
didn't.
knows
Yes,
it or
I did.
not.
Last
And
session,
I
I
too
said
will
by
receive a
accident.
little. I feel that's
No.
fair.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
why
he
he
did.
knows.
So he knows about what
Yes.
he's gonna do.
He
the
knows
whole future
everything,
because
and
he's
that's
wished
why
it.
he
I
tried-
just
He
totally
Both
He
of
worded
them
things
blurted it
wrong
out.
and it turned
Yeah.
around.
So
Yes,
yeah,
but
Between-
he wished that he had the
he's
memories.
very
Listen,
clear
listen.
that you're here
Between
because
Blink
some,
and
at some
I,
point in the future
he
he's
knows
got some
exactly
variable that'll
what's
swear
up.
You
to
said
them.
last session that I remember that I said I accidentally said I wish,
Yes,
and then that's when he tried to jump into the forge because he said he couldn't love. What was the point?
exactly.
So
I was in
at
the
this
shower
point, I'm
at
trying
that
to back everybody up, and we've calmed him down from that.
To some degree,
And
best you
I'm-
can.
I'm going to look at him, and if I have to, I'll make a charisma check.
Well,
Would
it's
you
not a bad
perform?
idea, but what are you doing first?
I'm going to say if there's anything you can do, is just remember that there's more out there. Destroying everything shouldn't be your only choice. Shouldn't be choice in the first place. I truly believe. As you can, no offense, tell from what I have done to you by accident, I am truly sorry for that.
It wasn't a choice I was exactly considering in the first place. At which point, Abe, I believe you're outside, or are you inside?
I'm outside.
You're outside, but he said that he was going to move you off to a place where you wouldn't be visible. So I'm assuming that he might be outside by now. So are you outside by now, Abe?
Yes.
Okay. So then you're the only one that would notice
Okay.
because he's unconscious and everyone else is inside.
I found transition.
Is this noisy? Do I have a
I
chance
will
to wake up?
I will let you see if you notice this. Then I'll let you make a wisdom check.
Is this noisy enough that I have a chance to wake up?
You
not-
are in a
Yes.
coma.
Let me just that caveat of yet that's the holding the
23.
Oh yeah, you actually will notice.
I mean, yes,
so
it
both
won't last forever.
both Malik and Abe will
You will
notice
wake up.
that there is somebody moving
worry,
up
I'll move.
towards the area. You'll notice that the other halflings that have gathered out in the village that had been onlooking, because clearly they're curious about what exactly is going on, are parting ways and allowing this person to come through. And it's a halfling. She doesn't seem to be much taller or larger than her comrades. However, you in particular, actually both, Abe would notice this as well as you, Malik, will notice that she's dressed out in full plate. Someone has actually kitted her
Full
with
plate.
full plate armor
Get out.
designed for her size. And it's a
The
bright,
time it
shiny,
would take
silvery
to do
color.
that.
And
No,
she's just making
seriously.
her way up to the rest of you. And it's very
I'm-
clear that despite your attempts to try and not be noticeable, she has very
Oh
clearly
yeah,
noticed you,
I
'cause
figured
noticed you
she's
before
hung.
you.
No, I figured she's hung on me, and so I'm gonna blurt out and try to make a initiative and/or perceptive check against her and say, "Hey, I see you. Who are you? Stop where you are."
All right, that sounds like a bit of a bluff and intimidation. Both are charisma, so make a charisma check.
+9 again. Come on.
I
I'm so glad
I
I put
figured
that extra
everybody
feature
don't think we
charisma.
should be melting off this lady.
Everybody likes chocolate.
I'm not trying to mouth off. I'm just trying to address who they are. I'll make myself announced. I just wanted them to make
I think we
themselves
should take a
announced.
knee and
How
apologize
well they go
what
for you?
our buddy did.
Another 18 + 9, believe it or not.
Okay.
Good.
27.
Give me those dice.
then-
You stay away.
She will stop. She'll look at you. Then she'll look directly over at Sly, who is lying there unconscious beside you,
Partially dragon.
and pointing directly at him,
Yes.
saying, "This one needs to be taken into custody now. Move."
The
And it's
dragon?
at this moment I make an initiative to slap him awake,
So you don't need to make
he
initiative for that.
so that he can actually address that situation himself, as opposed to me trying to address that situation and making the wrong decision.
All right, with the whip, whap, bat, make a Constitution check. You only need to get a 10 or higher. It'll be pretty easy.
They're a good
Yeah.
D20.
13 plus whatever is
You're
on the
good.
sheets. On
You're awake. You've been
Yeah.
slapped awake by
Hey, I was waiting for the right time. I told you this.
buddy?
Well, you see, this person says you're wanted for custody, and I figured it'd best be you claim that yourself than for me to make the wrong decision, because I have no idea what kind of charge you're trying to face.
Hobbit jail.
You will be coming with him as you are abetting.
Abetting the law.
Aiding and abetting
Aiding and abetting.
a criminal.
I already asked who they were.
Who
and
are
they have
you?
not addressed me. I refuse to go against your
And what am I
remarks.
wanted for?
Killing him.
As a worker of the law or enforcement of confining me and or my companion, I demand you announce who you
Throw the
are and
wall,
address
please.
me.
Rip the door out.
That didn't happen.
He's scared
Time's
of
been
that.
turned back.
No, that happened before.
It did.
My initial
I wanted
initiative
for?
on that was to find
And
out
who
who they
are you?
were, and they never told me who they were. I'm not going to adhere to it.
You lost Chris?
No, you're still there, right, Chris?
No, thank you.
Okay, just making sure.
Here, Todd, ice cream sandwich.
Oh, I'm good, thanks.
AJ, ice cream sandwich.
I'm just looking up something very quickly for Sir Slytonius here.
Thank you.
Ah, there it is. Okay. Well, since you've requested who she is, she will tell you, I am Feargrin,
Oh my
the
God.
High Templar of Thailand, the Lord of Justice and Vengeance. and by his word, I command that you surrender yourself.
What is my penalty?
You threatened the life of our mayor.
And what is my penalty for such?
That will be determined
Execution,
by a
dumbass.
proper court.
So I turned to Abe. Are you able to understand?
Just keep
my
in mind, when you guys
because
flew
I'm a
into this
dragon?
place, you initially plowed into.
No.
the
Let me
mayor's
tell
house.
you this,
threatened
okay?
the mayor's
We're
life.
in the same finger situation.
So you want to go?
You want to look at it this way?
You wanna
You
do
either
something like that.
execute this
They don't know I
person
can turn into a
now.
dragon, so let's go to jail
So
and
it's
escape.
not the daughter of Shiloh.
It could be fun.
It could be fun.
Let's
No,
see what
but
they
there
have.
is
And then
something
have a
about that.
whole
They
army
can
after
mention
us.
The other people went to jail for that
I
they
think
stole.
the advantage that we but you got to hear me, Sly. The advantage we would have against that situation is to take her out,
Okay,
take
actually,
her out
Ash,
now
you're
while we have a
as well.
chance,
Then
and
you're
get
not
the
caught.
fuck out of Dodge
All right.
instead of facing
Is she the
jail
only,
and having
can
the
I do a
army
quick
come
search
after
check
us.
and make sure I don't see
I got
any
19,
other guards
I
in
got
the
19
vicinity?
plus 11.
Oh, I can just grant you that. You don't see any other.
I'm telling you right
19
now,
plus
bro.
11.
If we
I
go
guess
with
that's second
her,
source
we're
one
being
gets.
faced
Can
Can
execution.
I use?
Okay.
Can I try to use detect magic like I have a few times before, and see if she's magical?
I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
All right. So, Ash, what'd you get?
You can shadow step.
I got 20.
After.
That's good enough.
Yeah,
Okay,
after
so
I
both
fucking-
you and Malik
I'll
realize
fucking
that something's
bite
a little off here.
Head off.
She said
and
that
then
she
you fucking
follows
shadow step.
Thailand,
This is
the
the
god
furthest
of
shadow
justice
you
and
can see.
vengeance.
Okay.
But you know that that god
Deal.
died, and his spirit was split
Yo,
into
your
two
dragon
forces,
vision
Kasha and
is
Lier.
further
Kasha being
Yeah,
vengeance,
well,
Lier
I
being
can't shadow
justice.
step.
No, but
Spread
you
up
could
around the
show
same
me a
time.
point to step.
Yeah, be like,
You could
So,
bounce it out to me and I could flash step.
You're
and
definitely in the
just-
past.
If you stand on my head, you
You're in the
and,
past.
and this is apparently the worshipper of a god that is
You're in
now
the
dead.
past.
So we are back.
Oh
past
wait a
the
minute! I
war
killed
bumps
Death. I don't know if we can kill people.
before the
I
war
don't
bumps
want to
happened.
kill her. We can just fuck off.
Then
Let's just
listen.
fuck off.
know something.
Right?
No, because then the army will be after us. Let's just
There's
fuck
the
off
only
now.
Did you hear what he said?
Well before the
Justice
war
and
bumps.
vengeance were
But
split
that
into
makes
two
that's not
equal
shock
lines.
because
You can't be
we're
representing
facing
justice and vengeance when
our
they're not.
cons a little south.
The god of justice and vengeance when justice and
Demonic,
vengeance was split in two way
switch
back.
from
But
you're in the
Pat,
past.
that's just
Well, yes.
adds
and
more
if
onto
you
the
remember the
illusion of that
timeline
we are
correctly, and if you actually
In the
remember
past,
the notes you
yes.
made about when
Would I
you
know?
memorial, that would make sense. But for most people, that's something they wouldn't catch right away.
Yeah, 'cause
That would be
now
like,
different
either they recognize the same
Yeah,
as
back
race
then
sauce,
was in
or they
you
wouldn't
would
know it
get
at all.
fucked.
Like, which god are you
Yes.
even talking
he
about,
had
right?
put up and set up
Let's
himself.
get the
Yes.
Okay.
So it just
So,
could be fake.
do I
but if
know
it's
she's
true,
lying and doesn't actually represent the law around here?
Oh, she is absolutely not
why
lying.
should
And
you-
yes, you can detect magic, and it's painful to look at her. That's how bright the magic coming off of her is.
She's gonna be able to hurt me.
Who the fuck you up?
Okay.
Run.
I
Little slow boy, dude.
am going
Run.
to. Me and Abe. I'm gonna grab Abe by the shoulder.
Yep.
Lead him around the corner.
Yep.
The second I'm around the corner, I'm going dragon mode and whipping him on my shoulders and telling him shadow step as far as you can see.
Flash.
Okay, that is going to take several steps because first you got to move.
Yeah.
Then you got to try.
The
to
real
transform,
initiative on
then
that
you
one
gotta
is
try to talk to him. So we'll do it one step at a time.
Transform
So
is
first,
a free move, right?
you're trying to move. As soon as you try to move, she thinks you're trying to escape, which means anybody who wants to, who can actually see what's going on right now, had better roll initiative if they're going to get involved.
Okay, we're
Distractor.
rolling initiative.
Are
Right?
you
Know
getting
what
involved,
mine is?
Malik?
Fall over.
I got 19.
So,
Can I telepathically
I can't see,
talk to
right?
them? Can I try and like
You
shout
can
out
think as
mentally
loud as
to
you
them?
want
I
at
can.
somebody,
And
but
it
like,
might not
you're
be
not
heard.
telling the
I can.
story, right?
Whether it's
So-
not
I can
heard.
to Malik.
Can I try and shout out to Blink and be like, "You guys have the blood for us. Fall over. Distract them for a quick second."
You can always try that. That is always an option.
Okay. Whether they hear it is another
You
story.
are going to roll initiative?
Mine was 19.
Yep.
And my
you'll
first
need to
step-
roll as well to be involved in.
My first step,
Yep.
can it be my ring of greater invisibility and put us both invisible?
You can't do that. Well, no, you can do that and move at the same time,
No.
but the ring of greater invisibility won't
You
cover
try to
it.
do that after we try
So
to get
just
out
me.
of it.
I'm
Yeah.
going.
As we
Because
take off,
greater invisibility doesn't expand to other people.
But
What
I
it
can
does is
attack
it allows
still,
you to
yeah.
attack without.
As we get the
So
fuck
I
out
can
of
still
it.
broken.
drag him while I'm invisible.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
not
well that's what I'm doing.
Get the fuck out of here. These dice left me another 18.
nice. So what does that give you for initiative?
I'm going 24.
Yeah, it's your dex modifier. and
Rocky.
your group initiative.
No, I got it. Plus
Stab
13.
wounds.
18 plus 13.
31.
build up.
Yeah,
no,
there we go.
Nice.
They're gonna.
So we got
So you're like, ow, I'm
24, 31, 19. Oh, my dice do not like you, my friends.
I
They do
figured.
not like you at all. I'm just going to throw that out here. That's a 34. She's moving for any of you. And that means that she moves well before Slytonius actually gets to enact
Okay.
his ring of invisibility, which means she's going
Can I make
Super
a
Saiyan on him.
Can I make a bluff of initiation?
If
Can you what
anybody
now?
need a beer
A
or tea,
bluff
made it,
of
Joe, I'll
initiation.
take it.
Who barred, Ross?
Sorry.
A bluff of initiation, which
Beer
means
tea.
like change our actual,
Make dry tea.
like how it perceives the way we're about to act. Like just submit instantly
I'll allow
before
that on
she
your turn,
realizes.
but she's faster than you.
Okay.
What was her initiative?
34.
Holy.
So as
That's
she
a twist.
approaches
Try
to
that.
probably and or less
That's what
fucking
I'm
submit
AJ,
us.
need one?
Pardon?
Yes, please. So as she approaches to just and or submit us, because she's obviously faster than us, I'm going to
Oh,
appear as if I'm ready to submit. I'm going to recommend that Sly does the same thing. I'm gonna like wink at him.
What's your armor class right now, Sly?
I'm
Submit.
invisible. Does that give me a bonus?
You
No,
didn't get to turn
you
invisible
did
yet
not
because
yet.
you move faster than you.
Okay,
Too
not
fast
yet.
for you.
She's
Well,
far faster.
That would have been
than
my
that.
first action. So she wouldn't even have known that I'm escaping.
It doesn't matter
Well, you-
because you would have done it after she had
As
already
soon
approached.
as you
She
started
had
to
the
move,
bluff
she
on us.
noticed she was attacking right away.
Yeah,
Check
she
my
had the
AC
cap
real quick.
on
Rocky.
initiative.
She sensed motive.
I'm focusing on her so I get my
She
plus
did,
one for dodge,
and rather
right?
well, thank you.
I'm focusing so I get my plus one for dodge.
No,
fine with
all
that.
I'm saying is submit.
That's fine.
Do it.
Rocky.
Put your arms behind your back and drop to your
26
knees.
plus one for dodge.
Slide.
Sorry, what was that?
26 plus one for dodge.
So 27. Oh boy. Okay.
You're gonna get your head fucking chopped off, but okay, I tried to save you. Don't say I didn't tell you to submit when I told you to submit.
I was already trying to submit. I wanted to get arrested.
I
Yes,
know,
you're
we
over-
have to now.
She's already moved
We
faster.
have to now. I don't think you understand the concept of what's going on.
Hey, I don't think you understand. She's moved faster.
So the first roll.
She's
roll
Rocky
a
didn't
one.
look at
If she's trying to attack me, can I just lay down and be
Those
like,
are not a
I
one.
surrender?
That's what I'm telling you to do.
You
Second
can't.
set of rolls. Don't
I'm
Because
trying
she
to
sensed
give you
motive.
the initiative on
That
mine.
is a one.
That is a one.
Rocky.
But
She
takes
sensed
out
motive.
Second attack.
Your motive was to run.
I had 31.
And
No
the
one else
last
had
two-
31, and she had 34. We
Dismissive.
need,
is a
yeah,
20.
we need to submit.
Dismissive butthole up
Well,
approach.
sorry, bro.
It was nice knowing you. So we're gonna start rolling damage
Too
now.
late.
I want to submit.
No, you
Yeah,
can't.
well,
You
On
can't
your
change
turn,
course
you
now.
can.
You
In
sensed
the
motive
meantime,
on you when you
you
were
may
trying to
not be
run.
awake to
Your
do
motive
that.
was to run.
Let's find out.
She's gonna
So-
fuck you up a little
Hopefully,
bit.
Slee's just blood.
Because
You
as soon
didn't
as she
listen.
saw you move,
I
she
damage
reached for her
resistance.
sword hilt, and her sword, the scabbard itself, is only about 2 feet in length, but when she pulls out the sword, it just keeps coming. She has a full grand greatsword that immediately glows with a blinding white light.
I just
and
wanna
she's
make it-
rushing at you with a great. Now, this is a 3-foot tall woman with a 7-foot long sword.
I just want to
Oh,
make
God.
it clear. I'm already in
swing is her.
execution pose because I'm submitted. My hands are behind my back and my
Oh,
throat
Maddie
is
can't
clearly
get
out
there.
there.
That
So
is
that she
probably
knows
for the
I am
best sword.
passive.
That is probably for the best
Aw,
sword.
poor
No,
Pop.
I
Don't
guarantee
not gonna
it is.
He's just picking you.
I
He's just
realize
getting
she
paid
has
for
No,
it.
he
upper
wants
hand
to
on
go
me.
back there and he
As my
can't.
dice are being
Blocked
finicky.
up.
No, he's just a little whiner because he picked him up.
He likes
So
shit
these
back
will
there.
be.
Go
What
put it
alignment
in
are you?
What?
What alignment are you?
Alignment.
I believe I'm chaotic good. Or
Okay.
no,
You're evil, I thought.
I'm
No, he's not
chaotic
evil.
neutral.
He might be, yeah, neutral. I
I
can see
think
he's
I'm
not
true
evil.
neutral.
I thought you were
What do you
neutral,
want?
so that means only double damage.
Yeah, that
Double
would
damage.
explain the.
Double damage.
She's probably
100 health points go
Lawful
help you
good,
now.
so that's
lawful,
a-
lawful.
So
Them 100
that's
health points.
No, it ain't.
You just roll a D100 5s.
I only have
And then
100.
2 more attacks.
I probably have about 126
No, he's dead.
hit points.
You're like a blitter.
If you're over 100, he's dead. Like he's straight up dead right
Not if she's doing non-fucking
Not lethal, I guess.
non-lethal.
You're
I
super
never said
knocked
nothing about
out.
non-lethal.
Hey,
Yeah, if it's not, you're super knocked
It's up
out.
to her.
Yeah, if it's not
Given the
lethal, you're super
situation,
knocked out.
it is definitely lethal.
So that is.
Dead.
We've reached the
That's
point where
an
you're
idiot.
facing suicide by cop.
Yeah, right?
You
Any
said
chance.
you'd save I
Now-
did, but then when I
now,
realized the bluff
because
and
she would
everything, I
realize the
changed.
situation on
I
her fourth
changed my
strike.
tune, okay? And you
Basically,
weren't
she
quick
needs
to
to get,
catch
like,
the change
5
of
or
the
higher.
tune, and I tried to warn you to submit.
No, you tried
Yeah.
to run.
And you're all like,
from
"I'm
so
gonna
that's
dodge,
your-
I'm gonna this, I'm gonna that," and I'm like, "No."
No,
So
you tried
then
to run
she
from a
immediately
god
comes
bot.
in, brings her sword up, actually leaps up into the air, and she leaps twice her own height. So she's 6
Oh my
feet up in
God.
the air with a 7-foot-long sword.
the tip of
Comes
the
down
sword's
on your
14
right
feet in the air.
shoulder, nearly severs your right arm before doing a spinning pirouette, goes across both of your legs. You notice she pulls at the last second so that she literally just slices across the front hamstrings. And then she turns the sword in her hands and, still behind, starts stabbing in this direction. At the last second, pulls the stroke because she was aimed straight for your throat. And you notice the blade pierces in about 2 inches, and then she pulls it out quick.
Mm-hmm.
Blood immediately starts gushing everywhere. She actually rushes over, and you notice her hand starting to glow as she holds it in a claw-like form, and she slams it down onto his throat, and you see the wound immediately start to heal,
Shut. Yes.
and the blood stops. But you are absolutely unconscious, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna
No
look at her,
question
and
about
she's
this.
gonna look at me like, yeah, there's absolutely nothing you can do. But I'm gonna look at her like,
Yeah.
if there's anything I can do right now, let me know to resuscitate him. And we will. And my full intent is still to submit, but under her recognition and control of whatever she might say I need to do.
She looks at you. Oh, wait, there. And now
Okay. I
she turns
stay in
her
position.
gaze over to Malik. As Malik, as I assume, is charging in.
I'm not charging, but I'm walking towards her. Yes.
Say you rush
I'm not
in and then
drawing
decide to
weapons,
What are you gonna
change.
do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to her and talk to her.
Go ahead, it's your turn. What do you say?
I'm assuming you're here because what my friend did. My friend here chose to do to the mayor's house in the city back there. Right bridge.
Was the same city,
Right,
sir.
Oh,
And yes, this is about what he did to the mayor, to his home, to all of those within. Threatening to kill them, to swallow and consume them whole. That is the utterance of death, and that holds a stiff penalty here.
I see. Well, yeah, I'm assuming you're gonna jail him.
For the
Or is
moment,
the penalty death?
no. It is quite unlikely that he would be sentenced to such a thing, although clearly he would have to be monitored more carefully, especially since it appears
Blue.
you do not have
No
him under
brown.
control.
He can
Well, I'm the one who put him to sleep moments ago when we woke him up to speak to you. Yes. So I do now have him under control.
Good.
In my unconscious state,
We
I'm
are
gonna say,
dealing with a
"I'm
matter of great
nobody's
importance, which
Do I
we've been
hear-
dealing with for quite a long time. So you might understand that some of our party members are having some issues dealing with the stresses of this
See him back to bed?
quest.
Where you at?
Your words are noted, sir, and understood.
Ma.
I appreciate them, and
Bye,
they will
phone.
be
I'll see you
considered
later.
when a
Love you
proper magistrate is
too. Gotta
summoned
go
forth.
back, man. I'll be back.
However, in the meantime, your companion will be taken into custody, and he will be
Let's try to go back to bed.
facing the proper criminal charges for the offenses he has committed.
You commit no offense.
Can I, at that point, engage the person who is pressing charges?
Oh, it's her.
Okay.
She's literally
well,
doing
no, I'm
it.
just.
Just so you know.
But she
I
can't
say that
proceed
because
over
I want to
court.
try to address it formally because I don't want to like give misinterpretation.
You do me a favor.
Obviously, we're fucking with
Yeah,
somebody
maybe
we
that
have no
bag.
idea who we're fucking
Where's the
with.
front of the
Makes sense.
Smooth
That
taste.
door?
But my whole thing on that one is she still going to take me in as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and
She's actually going to be taking all of you into custody at this time. However, she's not going to be jailing any of you. She's simply going to be processing you, which means that she expects you to follow her.
so we're gonna be in the
Give your
system,
names
boys.
and information.
Want the people engaged?
It's gonna be a backlog
So
on
she's
us.
actually going to be going into the building and checking out the rest of you. She hasn't done that yet, though. So we're not at
Okay.
that point yet.
Can I request that Archon comes with us, and if I have to make a charisma check, can
You can make the charisma check.
I?
They should
Come on,
watch-
dice, don't fuck me now, okay? You give me 18s all this way.
You never know. It's when
Come
you
on,
need it
dice,
the
fuck
most.
'em now.
It's the luck of the die.
It's yep. Indeed, it is, sir.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
Archon needs to be with us. We can't not keep an eye
Who
on
knows
him.
if we're all going?
We are all going.
A 10 plus 9 is 19.
Well,
No,
she does seem
no.
to be receptive to
No.
what you're saying. However,
Said you guys.
despite her reception, she is also very clearly
You three,
confused.
I'm just gonna go in
And she
check
says,
the
"Who is this
Check the
Archon
house.
of which you
house. I can
speak?"
print my way out of this.
You could probably talk
I'm gonna
about it.
point at the person I most familiarize him with,
Or just
and
deny it being involved.
Well,
with
you'd be
this,
pointing
at
back at the
least
building
for now.
because the Hobbit
Or,
you
like,
know is inside, right? Like you can
Try to
see
be
him.
as truthful
Yeah.
as possible.
can I request that she cuff me or something and then go in and investigate for the person I described as a small hobbit
No, we
in
don't-
hopes that he's actually in there still, because who
Well,
knows?
if you've surrendered, she expects you to simply follow her around.
Okay,
Like,
so
so as
I
long as you
will,
stay
I will
within
lead
visual
her.
sight.
I will lead her and guide her in the direction
Alright.
of what I described.
So you're going to take her into the forge
Yeah.
and you're going to point out the halfling inside.
Yeah, under her submission. Yeah.
And she looks at you. Him.
Yes. He is with us.
He is with us. Yeah.
Him.
That's a bluff.
Yes.
What, the little Hallborough?
He's saying that the Hobbit is with all of you.
And that he needs to come to jail with us.
And this is very clearly confusing for her, which means that she's now going to look at you very intently. You'll notice that her eyes begin to glow with the same brilliant white light that her sword did. And I will need you to make a will save.
Okay.
Your D20.
5 plus 2 is
He's got to
7.
see, it's not the strongest save for a fighter like him, you know.
7, 7, 7.
There's a 7.
That would be
Screaming
funny.
7 for
Another 18.
Nice. Well, she looks at you and she says, "Interesting. You're clearly not lying, but you're also clearly demented.
Yes.
I can only assume that you do not understand the full truth of what you were saying." And at which point she'll be looking at other people, to which
Pointing
No
out in
will
the
be
future he
very
does wrong.
pointedly just backing off.
Okay, can
Try
I
not
can
to
I
be
try and make
noticed.
another charisma check?
Hold on, other people
Okay,
first.
sorry.
Ash, what are you doing now that you've seen this hobbit female in full plate walk in, dragging the unconscious form of Slydonius?
Oh, she's dragging me around?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
But it's doing this time.
Don't worry, I'll be right there with you.
Well, you might not have heard it from the outside, but since you are requesting, she'll just sum it up for you and explain that he is currently under arrest for acts that he has committed within the confines of this borough,
Treachery.
such as uttering death threats against the mayor, smashing into his property, destroying a good section of his home and city hall.
Terrifying.
murder.
Destruction of
Terrifying
property,
arrest as
breaking
well as
and
arrest.
entry,
Yeah.
He
and
murdered
threatening
the frickin' mayor, didn't
the
he?
life of.
Chewed him up and then he
the
punched him
diplomatic
against the
leader.
wall.
Oh, he threatened him. He didn't actually kill him.
No, I thought he chewed him up and then he tried to punch him
Yes,
out
but
of his mouth.
what's
and then he
worse than
slammed him
actually
against the
killing
wall.
him is saying you're going
I don't
to
think
and
we
not
reverted
doing
time
it.
then.
I thought you did.
No, I reverted time here. Because he tried to eat our kind.
Oh, even better. So it's murder charges.
yeah.
Excellent.
Murder.
I'm sorry, I confused the two. That's even better. So murder charges. There you go. Ash.
Why'd you have to
And
enlighten that? Why?
Because it's the truth.
You're not helping
Oh,
the
that's
situation.
fair. That's fair. It's been a while.
Yeah,
since
for
we
someone
played,
who can
so-
still actually lie, start fucking lying.
I don't remember how.
Can't
I will
lie to-
show you the
cannot
fucking
lie to
way,
us,
okay?
Ah, dear. All right, so what are you doing, Ash?
Terrible. Throwing us under the bridge
No,
like that.
That's our character, just so he knows.
No, I know. I'm
It's
just
like,
bugging.
honestly, he straight up ate
Bro,
him.
I'm just. You're right, and I'm just bugging.
Sorry, was that?
Yeah, another character, you're like,
I was gonna say, I mean, honestly, just... Was I there? I can't remember.
You were there for that point, yes.
You'd probably be overseeing it
my
all.
character, I assume.
you'd be around. You're there.
Yeah.
You'd overhear it.
And in killing a said person.
No, actually, you did get a chance to stop him because it was all too fast.
Okay. Like, yeah, I mean, it's the law. I mean, it's stupid.
Is that certain person you're talking about, Archon? He's like, no.
At which point, Fairgrin will look back at you and say, "Who is this Archon?"
I will look at them and say, you will long term find out. Give it 10, 20 years.
Couple hundred years.
Okay, she looks even more confused at you now.
Mentally insane.
Good. The more insane I look, the better. Because honestly, we're living in a different timeline. I feel that fits.
What's that, Ash?
I was gonna say it's the halfling that's the owner of this forge.
The Hobbit.
His other name or alias is Archon. Or
Well, as near as you can gather, it is actually technically Archon, but from the severe past, well before he even started performing in the arenas, and well before he
Or
became immortal.
Yeah,
He's not even evil at this
Right.
point.
He isn't who he realizes
I
he
get
is.
that point.
I feel like I wouldn't realize that
His
either.
name wasn't Archon.
That's why she's. Yeah, and actually, he did introduce himself by his name. I don't know if anybody even remembers it yet.
Oh, I wasn't there, so I can't remember.
Oh, I know you can't, but
Bagrid?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm
you're
acting as
somewhat
if I
close,
don't know.
actually. You're somewhat close, but it's not that. Yeah, you might have it written down in your notes now. You go ahead and check.
See, Todd, I feel like I personally wouldn't realize who Archon's original personality or who he addresses
So-
himself
Oh, as far as
is.
everybody's been concerned up
Yeah,
till last
like-
session, that was his only name. Nobody
Yeah,
understood he had a
exactly what I'm
different
saying. That's why I keep addressing him as somebody they don't know him
I
as.
just assumed that wasn't really his
I just figured
actual
stick
name,
true.
as He wasn't actually human.
name. Exactly. He only became human after he passed the trial of immortals in the Hall of Champions.
Go. Go.
That's when he became essentially a boogeyman and started following the goddess of death.
Hey,
Is
Be
that all
nice.
for last session?
American.
nice.
There we go. Mergen. That is his name.
What'd I
Which
say?
Make
translates
Nice.
You're
to
close. You see what I'm saying?
outsider
Be nice.
or
Doesn't mean fucking be
Back.
worse.
Fair.
It means be fucking nice,
Yes.
asshole.
Good job.
Be nice.
So, did I ever
Hey.
uncover why his name was banished?
Well, stop.
Nope.
You're being aggressive.
Okay.
You haven't had enough time to actually examine that
Beat
because you've been too busy either trying to talk him down from
Go
throwing
lay
himself
down.
in his own forge after you told him he was going
Stop
to become
being his
the
murderer.
story of the
Go
universe,
lay down.
and then being confronted by
Go lay down.
a small woman with a large head,
Go lay down.
for lack of a
Okay.
better term.
So,
Lay.
who's
Lay
this
down.
lady? Do I know her? Did I
She's
hear
literally
her name?
just stormed in. You have no idea who she is.
Okay, I didn't hear her name or anything.
Exactly.
She
Okay.
didn't give us a name yet.
So,
Well, yes.
am I faced away from her?
Not necessarily.
Yes, fair.
What I would have
I mean, you would have been, but as soon as you heard her come in, especially with her dragging Slytonius and her making a bold proclamation, I'm fairly certain it's fair to say you would have turned around and seen her.
Okay, because I was going to try and use disguise before I turned around.
I will actually allow you to do that, but you're going to have to make a really high dexterity check. I mean, really.
Dexterity first?
Yes, because you have to move fast enough in order to get all the components you need before you put the disguise together, right?
How much of a disguise do I have to make it?
I don't know. Are you just
Because
putting
it's a
glasses on
hobbit
and pretending you're
well,
Clark
it's a
Kent?
hobbit
You
city.
tell me.
It's a hobbit borough.
Yeah.
And with, I don't know what I'd have to use to make it better, but anything that would be around that would be coming here for anything. Like it's blacksmith.
Yeah.
He's not well known quite yet.
Right.
So I figure anything within this vicinity, and I should have some knowledge since I am a bard and I did give a little bit of a check last time.
It is a
How
very
well we are.
specific area of a very specific place, though.
Or what people are around. Dwarf, are there gnomes?
I will actually let you make a check on her name once she says it. If you're
Okay.
asking it.
I'll-
This is
I'll-
about
I'll-
disguise first,
I'll
right?
just say mess the disguise then, since there's too many variables to input there,
All right.
and since I've already turned around, and I'd have to do like a quick change, like, oh, who's
Exactly.
this?
You'd be like, Mario. No.
Fake pencil stash, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll ask. Well, what has she said so far?
Up to this point, she has announced that she is taking your friend Slytonius into custody
And me.
for the murder of the mayor,
Okay.
and that she has taken in your companion Abe as a form of abetance because he abetted the act. And she will actually also be taking him in as well, but she hasn't actually gotten around to asking her name yet. For which she will actually apologize and then ask her name.
That's my name. I am Mallet Black.
A pleasure to meet you. Unfortunately, it was under these circumstances. After all, we have to put you in jail for assistance in murder.
Well, I did nothing of the sort, but okay.
So she hasn't actually formally said her name, but you can ask.
Alright,
Please
real
do.
quickly.
Your name is, if I have gathered, Farragut.
I'm abiding the law by
Farragut.
trying to find that out.
And that's what are you gonna say that, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying to you. Yeah.
Okay.
And for that, I will allow you to make a bardic knowledge check.
Okay, which is intelligence plus level, right?
When
Yep.
you said she's
Okay.
a paladin
You got
of
this.
Tylen,
Tyler,
Lord of Justice and Vengeance.
Right.
Yes.
29.
how do you spell that quick?
Total.
Yeah.
Tylen is
You're not-
Tylunn.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
No, I'm throat shit.
You have actually heard the name. You know that it's a hobbit. You don't know that it's specific to this area. But it
Oh,
would-
wait. It's not 29 because I have like a 13 in knowledge history. So was that also helps a little bit,
No,
right?
no, it's not synergic.
I thought
It
was.
doesn't synergize for this specific thing.
Okay.
But a 29 is still good enough for you to recognize generally who she is. If she is who she claims she is, she's actually a high Justicar who follows Tylen, which means that while she's not immortal, she is possibly and quite likely the only and the most powerful halfling paladin ever to exist.
Can I clarify something?
Okay.
Tylin
she's a
and
paladin.
Talon are two
That's where
different
the Justicar
characters,
is.
right?
Hmm?
Tylin and Talon are two different people.
Yes,
Yeah.
Talon is
I wanted to
traveling
make
with you
sure.
at the moment.
I figured as much.
Tylen is a god.
I figured as much, but I just wanted
So-
to clarify that.
Fair
I
enough.
guess knowing this, can
Talon hasn't done anything yet.
No, I figured that wasn't the case, but I just wanted to be sure.
That's fair.
most powerful paladin, right?
Yeah,
With
he's
my
the
knowledge
most powerful
base,
paladin.
would
Let's
I
not fuck with
know
that.
if she's powerful enough to withstand Top
Time stop?
Yeah.
Alright.
Would I know that? With
She's
my
still mortal, so she should still be fully affected by time stop if it's enacted properly, depending on what the effects are.
Well, yeah, depending on your
Can I
effectiveness too.
stop time for 10 seconds to tell Malik something? Or do I have to touch it?
You can try, but it is a charisma check.
Okay.
You gotta bluff it, right?
Because
So-
not yet. I will want to
So
shot.
what I'm going to do, since I'm hoping this might help, is I'm going to say whatever these fellows have done, I'm sure it'll be adjourned and you come to your conclusion. The rest of us have nothing to do with it, and as I'm doing this, I'm going to say, please be well, my friend. Don't do anything stupid and abide by the laws. And try and touch him just, casually as be well.
Touch
Say,
who?
Malik.
Okay, so as you're saying this, let me check something real quick. Because she may react to it faster than you might expect. Let's hope that I don't roll a 12 or higher.
Because my
Of course, the way
motive
the dice
is
may
just to wish
have been
him off
going.
well if she's not saying anything to me. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a 19.
Because my motives
Yes,
are
that's
just
the
to
As
wish
word.
him
soon
off
as the
well.
words come out of your mouth that you say that you don't have anything to do
She
with
can
it,
tell.
she will immediately be drawing the glowing greatsword,
Okay.
pointing it in your direction, and saying, "You have abetted in the foul and unconscionable murder of our mayor.
Okay, as ridiculous
You will be brought to justice."
I'm going to say, do you have any proof?
as it may seem, can I jump in front of him and say, please, no?
As I'm I'm hands up, I'm going to be like, okay, well, do you have absolutely any
Cheers, boys.
proof that
Cheers.
I did
Yeah,
any of
Maverick.
this?
Yeah.
Can I take a last charisma check for this session?
So,
When what was the last thing?
roll with me with that.
When thrown what?
Todd,
when throwing
can I
the
take
weapon.
one last
Can
charisma
breathe
check
weapon,
against
can
her?
breathe weapon and
One
chromatic
last
dragon
one
when
for the
what?
session.
Before you can interact with her, we got to do with this interaction.
Okay, yes.
Okay, just to be clear.
No, yes.
All right. So, you asked for
I'm gonna
proof.
try and beseech it though.
She
if I can.
she will immediately be holding out her. She actually lets go of the greatsword with her right hand, so she's just holding it one-handed now. It looks ridiculous because she's only 3 feet tall, holding a silver
But
sword with one
it's
hand.
light. It's
Bro.
And the
light,
hand and her other hand comes
A
out.
great sword in
a
one
white
hand.
light shines from it, and I will need you to make a will save. Now you can voluntarily choose to fail it or not. It's up to you.
You're probably gonna fail anyway.
I would like to check my will though.
Thing is, even if he makes it, he still has the option to allow the spell to happen, but I'm not going to tell him what it is yet because he hasn't made a spellcraft check. He's too
He's
occupied.
oblivious to the
Okay.
situation because of his initiative
Well,
not
he's
being
too
up to
involved.
par.
He can't
Yeah,
do
I'm
it
gonna
in
do
a
it on
second.
That's what I'm saying. Too many things are going on at once for you to be able to make
See,
that
what is
decision.
it that I always roll something so dark and heinous? Like,
The code.
So
That's plus 15.
yeah, no.
Okay.
So
I failed, yeah.
she will be gesturing out to you, and as soon as she does, the light washes over you, and you immediately start to pick up. Somehow, she seems to have captured the thoughts and memories of the witnesses who saw you all crash into the building, who saw you all murder the mayor. And as far as she's concerned, it is open and shut. And you do get a sense of that. And you can also get a sense of her barely holding back a white-hot rage, as though she's ready to simply pronounce judgment on you and dispense justice herself. But she's not doing it. Maybe that's because of her paladin code of ethics, you don't know. But
So-
she clearly wants to.
If it's possible, and
I'm
I
gonna
know
ask
it's
her. I'm gonna ask
Yeah,
her
I'll
what would
stop.
happen if the mayor was alive.
She'll get to that in a second. I do want to give him a chance to make his charisma check.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I am totally throwing myself in front of Blank and being like, straight up, let me take the crimes you are going to charge him with. Please.
And she actually looks at you with a confused look on her face
Please.
and says, I don't believe you understand how the laws here work. You did not actually commit the murder directly, not according to any witness. You are not exonerated of the crimes, but because you arrived with your friend, you will be considered in abeyance until such time as we can prove that you had no intent or
I
action.
understand that, and I don't want to beseech her forefront in law in upholding it.
Right.
Because I understand the classification in which she directs that. I understand her directive, is what I'm trying to say.
Now, as you're about to form your next sentence, you piped up and said, what if the mayor wasn't dead?
Yeah.
To which she looks even more confused at you.
What if I can resurrect the mayor? Or
You are not a priest.
Can I subconsciously almost say to him, standing in front
But what
of
if
him?
we know a priest?
Yes. Yeah,
What if we can come to an agreement? If you can see
The mayor
memories
will
of
be
them-
resurrected. That is not the issue. The issue is that you committed foul murder, most heinous.
Most heinous.
Yeah, I would agree that that's pretty heinous.
What if we willingly just turn him in? I didn't want to kill nobody. Like
That's
he
what I'm
murdered
saying.
a man.